Hey everybody, welcome to DBS Films podcast. It's just me and you, so that means it is a production update. Today is April 29th, and we have a lot of big news. We are launching the Bigfoot auditions tonight, but also on top of that, in this episode, we wanted to do something a little bit different and give you guys a Q1 update. We're actually going to talk about it in a little bit more detail later in the week, but I also wanted to go ahead and go through a little bit of a PowerPoint, and who doesn't love PowerPoint? So if you're listening to this on a podcast, you're just going to have to use your imagination. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm about to go ahead and share my screen so we can hop into just a little bit of an informative guide of kind of where we're at. And the reason we're doing this is we see each and every one of our fans and each one of our members as part of DBS Films as much as me and Brendan are. So really what we want to do here is we're going to have quarter updates, kind of giving you guys where we're at, how things are looking, how things are going, and really just kind of give you an idea of what we're focused on. So with that being said, let's go ahead and begin with DBS Films State of the Union Q1 update. So really for the first quarter, we have a lot of significant milestones. We crossed 18,000 members in Discord. We filmed the Roger Project with 11 Discord members. We released the Forests of Death, and we created the server teams, which are super important for the overall management of the Discord community. Again, really, really productive. If you listen to the upcoming podcast next week, we really have a goal of making a movie, getting a movie ready to be filmed, and releasing a movie. So those three things kind of each quarter gets us to a goal of 4 movies in the year. Now, one of the major things that we have is the increased production time frame to 8 months average. So if you look at The Morgan Estate and The Devil in the Room, which we filmed in 2018, we released them in 2020, which is 16-month average. Then The Girl in Cabin 13 was filmed in April 2021 and released in December 2022, 8 months. Haunting the Murder House, same thing, 8 months. Forests of Death was 10 months, but we basically ran into the Christmas off season, and it was just something that we had agreed that we, were biting off a little bit more than we could chew. The big thing, though, is after that is we have Into the Forest again is 8 months is what we're looking at for a June/July release, and the Roger Project actually might be released in 6 months. So really the reason why we wanted to highlight this is we're getting better at making movies and releasing them in a consistent manner. Whereas, again, The Morgan Estate and The Devil in the Room, that was a 2-year gap of us not filming, really making anything, really producing anything, really releasing anything. And it wasn't until 2021 with The Girl in Cabin 13 that we got back on track. We were able to start making movies, and we went from 8 months to 8 months, 10 months, 8 months, 6 months. And really what we think is we can keep it down to an 8-month finished production. And if we continue to stack those, we have 4 movies. Now, why am I talking about this? What's going on? Every single time we make a movie, that means a lot of things. That means we get to cast more people from our Discord community. That means we get to increase the revenue that DBS Films makes, which means we can go ahead and push it back into the community, back into the movies to make them bigger and better. And it really just gives us a much better chance of scaling and growing. Every single time that we have a movie, we step up to the plate and we basically get a good swing. And, you never know when we're going to hit a home run. Right now, I feel like we hit a ton of singles, and that's exactly what we need to do. If we continue growing and continue doing that, it's good. But basically, this is letting you guys know that we are increasing the production time. And really to give you an idea, most indie films take usually 2 to 3 years, if not longer, if you count their writing process as well too. But just the production process usually takes about a year at the minimum, with 2 years being kind of like the average spot that we see. So we're already way ahead, but our goal is to keep it at that 8-month mark so then we can consistently have a cycle of movies that we're releasing. The big picture, though, is really what I wanted to talk about, and that is that DBS Films, in my opinion, it's DBS point 1. This is exactly where we're at. We're at point 1. And this is the current state of DBS. This is not the full-time work focus for me and Brendan. We have to work on our other jobs to basically stay alive and survive and all of that good stuff. So this is really just when we have time. As I kind of mentioned in the Discord, I've been very, very busy lately, so I haven't been able to spend anywhere near as much time as I want to in the community or working with everyone or growing the community. All of those fun things I've had to put on the back burner, unfortunately. So that's kind of just always going to be the case with DBS point 1 if things like that continue. Also, we have limited events. We have amazing events, and our team does great events, but again, I really see us having so many more events, so many more things in the Discord that we're actively focusing on and making more interactive. So I'm going to consider this as still limited events, limited investment in the Discord. Again, we had the challenges which are postponed. We are going to get those back up after the casting process and the filming process for the Bigfoot. And we have smaller budgets. Really, we're looking at, about 10 roles in our movies is kind of what we're targeting when it comes to the budget that we have now. And we also have a four movies per year target, and we're mainly casting actors and special effects. So this is kind of where we're currently at, is, again, these variables right here. And really, this is no problem whatsoever. This is just how business is, and you guys should consider yourself very, very lucky and grateful to be part of the process now, because as we continue to scale and as we continue to grow, you guys that are putting in the work for DBS Point One are going to be rewarded the most once we scale to DBS 1.0. So this is the next stage of DBS Film. To me, this is really just highlighted by full-time focus from me and Brendan. When this becomes our full-time focus, this is our full, mindset of what we need to do. This is when things really kick off and really go great. We're going to have increased events in the Discord is going to be one of the first things. I'm talking daily things that we're constantly doing. I have no problem with hosting multiple events daily when I'm doing full-time for this. So that is something that's going to happen like really, really quickly. More investments in the Discord, and really what this means is I see a point when you win the acting challenge, you're not going to get $20. You're going to get $100, maybe $200. Maybe the acting challenge is almost like we have live acting challenges. We make it more interactive and do all these things. The Discord is where we do want to focus all of our efforts, because that's where the community lives. So there's a lot of really, really fun things that we can do. That, and also increased budgets. Increased budgets means that we're instantly going to double the amount of roles that we need. We're going to double what people are doing. We're going to make it a lot more fun when it comes to the casting part, so we can cast more people. So that's really one of the other major ones. The next thing is 8 to 10 movies per year is what we're targeting. When we are full-time, we are very comfortable with the fact of us averaging about a movie a month with a little bit of wiggle room here and there. So that comes out to about 8 to 10 movies. Now think about it. If we go from, 40 to 50 roles at DBS Point One, when we're looking at DBS 1.0, we're looking at, 160 to 200 roles. So right then you can already see how we're going to cast more. And like I've been saying, the people who are supporting us now in DBS Point One, who are auditioning now in DBS Point One, they're going to find themselves in a lot more movies and having a lot better opportunity than the people that are joining us when we're at the stage of 1.0. Also, consistent in-person events is another big thing. We want to really, really, really focus on that. It's something that just the effort of itself in its own is really hard to do. But ideally, we'd have a quarterly Superfans meetup across the country and, basically different sections, so that we can meet everyone in person, so you can meet all the friends that you're making in the Discord community and making it very, very active and fun. And then also the big thing is casting full production teams. So really what the casting full production teams is going to expand to is going to be writers, additional editors, additional cinematographers, PAs, things that are outside just acting and special effects, things that are getting more people behind the scenes, hands-on when it comes to the production. So, this is where the big kickoff point to me is DBS 1.0, because again, the benefit that we make from making 8 to 10 movies in a year, that just scales and compounds and just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Essentially what that means is you have way more opportunity to be in our movies, and we grow way quicker. So that's something really cool. But then I wanted to talk about DBS Films 2.0. So this is really the growth stage. This is the kickoff to me when we end up having massive, massive, massive scaling. Again, I see the gap from DBS 1.0 to 2.0 as much smaller than the gap from 0.1 to 1. And the reason for that is because once we really get the ground under our feet and we're really working hard at this, it's going to be super easy for us to scale up our production. It's going to be super easy for us to grow. It's going to be super easy for us to do everything we want to do on a much higher scale. And what this means is full-time work focus with paid additional roles that are assisting us. And this is specifically in the Discord. The admin role will be paid. Hosting events will potentially be paid. Like, there's a lot of things that we want to pay you for the hard work that you're doing, even though a lot of people have been like, hey, we'll do it for free and nonsense. We want to pay you for these things. So the whole community itself will be able to then, grow with this ability and support that we have from making 8 to 10 movies is going to allow us to then support an entire community of people working to make the community amazing. And again, I'm very, very excited for that. This is going to mean daily events in the Discord. Imagine we have a daily introduce yourself every single day, 7 days a week. We have a daily gaming event every single day, 7 days a week. We watch a movie every single day, 7 days a week with a server team that is getting paid That is very easy for us to do. Now, the thing is I'm not going to put any pressure on our team to do it before we start paying them because, again, I know people are going to be like, hey, I'd love to do it. I'd love to help. But it is something that we are going to hold off to until I feel very comfortable about being able to support people in doing this, because it is a time commitment and a time investment, large investments in the Discord. And I can't wait for this. I mean, this could be something where, again, imagine we have like a acting season finale or something like that, and you win a couple grand. There's nothing saying that we can't do that. And I think that promotes exactly what we're looking to do. Special effects, you can win a lot of money for your talent. Writing, you can win money for your talent. Editing, all of these things, you can win money for your talent in the community, because at the end of the day, we want to promote the creative community. And I think this is a super awesome way for us to promote the talent within our community and reward people for having such creative talent. So that's going to be a big one. 10x budget from 1.0. So really what this means is, we're hitting with the big boys now in the sense of what our budgets are. This is 20 to 70 plus roles, but more importantly, these roles are going to be even bigger and even better. You know what I mean? Like really, really cool stuff. A lot of side roles for people to do things like being zombies or creatures or, part of a party scene. But more importantly, a lot of those 20 roles that I'm kind of highlighting will have much more action, much more impact as well too. So just a lot more people in there. And then also 12 to 18 movies per year. We want to really scale up. Now, how do we end up doing this? Well, it's because we're going to have multiple production teams. That means it's not just me and Brendan making movies. It's going to be me, Brendan, and filmmakers from this community that we've selected, that we work with, that are executing our projects and executing their projects. So that's how we're going to be able to make a lot more movies. And again, imagine 12 movies in a year. Every single month we have an audition. Every single month you have the opportunity to audition. And if you're part of it now, if you're listening to this video right now when it just comes out, you're telling me I'm not going to be able to get you in a DBS 2.0 movie, in the sense of those people that are working hard now will get the priority in casting. So keep on auditioning, keep on being part of the Discord, because we'll have so much more flexibility when we're making 12 movies a year to get everyone who's supporting us now in a movie with an awesome role that they want to do. So that's really kind of the big picture of that one. Also, larger scale in-person events. I think this is the coolest thing about DBS, guys. It makes so much sense for us to go overboard when it comes to these in-person events and these Discord community events, because it is such great marketing. To be able to say, wow, DBS loves their fans so much that they take their super fans out on like a cruise. They take them to Las Vegas for a premiere. They go snowboarding or skiing. They do all of these fun events that you can be part of. And if you're a super fan, you get access to them and special perks at no cost. Sign me up. And that's really going to be the methodology that we use to promote this, because again, we feel so strongly about our community and what you guys are doing for us. And everyone who is supporting us now, you guys are going to get the top of those perks. You guys are going to get the best of the best when it comes to these large scale events. So that's really kind of, overview of everything here. What I wanted to, just really encapture now is, again, it's a consistent growth thing. The more movies we make, the better it's going to get. So right now we have over 18,400 members for the Discord. On average, we have 1,002 active is kind of where we're floating around. That gives us 276 super fans, and we had 94 people participate in the launch team. We did have over 200 verified rentals and rentals because people are, hustling. Shout out to Dylan out there. He got like 41. So huge props to him. I know I can shake a tree or two to get a few, and a lot of people got their friends and family to do it. So that's how we were able to hit our 200 goal. But really what I wanted to highlight here is it's great we have 18,000 people. That's awesome. But realistically, of that 18,000 people, only 1,000 are pretty active on the Discord, in the sense that they're actually engaged in the server looking at something. Of that, we only have 276 people who have hit the superfan status. And of that, only 94 of those people were part of the launch team. Why do I bring this all up? Because we have a theory. Once we get to 1,000 launch team members, it equals DBS domination. If we can, from day one, get 1,000 rentals and reviews of our movies, we will be unstoppable. We will be catapulted to the top of the charts. We'll be able to make any movie we want. And again, if we can do this every single time we release a movie, it's super easy. Now, if you take a look at that, 94, 1,000, we're basically 10x away. So that's why it kind of puts in perspective of DBS 0.1. Now, I know probably one of the bigger questions is, how long is this going to take? I have absolutely no clue. Ever since 2016, when we first started this, I have had this back of the feeling mind that, oh, it's right around the corner, right around the corner, right around the corner. So I've kind of gotten rid of that and discounted that, because the movie industry changes all the time. It gets harder and harder to, you know, recoup revenue and things like that. But that being said, I've never been more optimistic that we actually do have a light at the end of the tunnel here. And again, it can just be a few movies that get really popular. It can just be a few more auditions. We don't even need to grow the Discord more. You know, if you really think about it, we got 18,000 people here. We just need the, you know, 1,000 people that are average or active right now to just kind of, you know, become super fans, you know, so work on the community in the sense of just being part of everything. And on top of that, if we get the 276 super fans to, you know, all commit to the launch team, then we're already doubling it. So I'm very optimistic in that, in the sense that it's only a matter of time before we continue to grow, before we continue to thrive. But again, I really wanted to make this little video for you to, you know, not only show you where you're at, but, you know, show how we can help. Because again, we are in this together. So one of the number one things is the launch team. Being part of the launch team is the best thing you can do. There's a reason you get a roll badge for being part of the launch team, because being part of the launch team means you love DBS so much. You're doing the number one thing for us. And again, I get it. Things come up. You might not be able to be part of the launch team, but be part of the launch team. 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 And my final advice is be part of the launch team. It literally signifies more than anything when I look at your profile and I see that you were part of the Murder House launch team and you're part of the Force of Death launch team. When we're DBS 2.0, the people that I talk to who've been part of every single launch team are going to get so much cool stuff from us, because you guys supported us every single time we needed you. So be part of the launch team. Be part of the launch team. Be part of the launch team. Just it helps us out the most. So that's going to kind of be the big focus that I mentioned there. Next is being active in Discord and events. I mean, again, life comes up. You can always be busy. Come back when it makes sense to you. There's no requirement whatsoever. I'm so glad you're there. But being active in the Discord and active in the events is a way that we can cultivate our community. You never know what little interaction with someone who's new is going to take them to the next level, to get them to become a super fan, to get them to become, you know, part of the launch team and join us in all of those things. So that's a big one. And then, you know, the next things are joining the server team. Eventually, we're going to have, most likely sometime soon, another round of server team openings. Server teams help out with the events, help out with giving out the points, help out with welcoming people. So all of those things are part of the server team. And what the big thing with that is, you know, always be sure to tell your friends about DBS as well too. So, you know, doing these things really help us out. They really mean the world to us. And if you continue to work at it just as much as we are, it only increases the speed and the rewards that everyone's going to get. So lastly, I just want to end this, you know, by saying thank you so much for everyone that's part of this right now, everyone listening to this right now. You guys are making our dreams come true. And, you know, those that are supporting us now, when we need it the most, will be the first to be rewarded from our growth. And that's the same statement that both myself and Brendan echo. So really, thank you so much for everyone that's supporting us. Thank you so much. Good luck. Best of luck to everyone auditioning tonight for the Bigfoot audition. There's going to be a separate video highlighting that. So you'll have all that information ready to go. But again, this means the world to us. Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of DBS. Thank you for making my dreams come true. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I cannot thank you enough. And here's the thing, guys, when we're super successful, when we have a lot of movies, when we have, you know, the big red carpets, I'm going to continue to say the thank you to every single person that's helping out today. So thank you so much, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. But until then, have a good one.